So he finally asked you the question and you said yes. So now you're here watching this video trying to figure out what the next step is for planning your wedding. You know, the best day of your life. I'm Kira Cup. I own a company here in Knoxville, Tennessee called Nothing Rhymes with Orange, LLC. It's a photo and video company. I primarily do wedding films, and I've got over 20 on my books for this year, so I have a lot coming up, and I wanted to help kind of provide something to help my brides and maybe other brides who don't work with me know how to plan their wedding and do different things like that. So the first thing that I want to talk about today is how to choose who your wedding photographer and videographer will be. I know it's a very overwhelming thing to try to decide because there are thousands of photographers and videographers out there. So how do you know which one's the right one? Before you even start looking for a photographer or videographer, you need to have a discussion with your partner about what kind of style that you want, that you're looking for, and what your budget will be. So everybody's got a different budget, and unfortunately, photography and videography services are not cheap. So as soon as you find out that you're getting married, or that you decide that you want to get married but you're not even engaged yet, I would start saving up for this wedding because they're not cheap. Photographers, if you want a really good one, the absolute minimum that you're most likely going to be paying is around $1,000, and that's not even for all-day coverage. So most photographers end up being anywhere between $2,000 to like $5,000 for a full day of coverage. It just depends on who you get. Somebody fresh out of college might be more cheaper than someone who's been doing it for a couple decades. You also want to decide, do you want to do photo and video, or do you just want to do photo? I highly recommend at least having photo because that's something that you can actually print and have. It is important to have photo, but it's also important to have video if your budget will allow for it. Because how else will you hear your voice from the day? How else will you look back and it's kind of like you get to experience the day again from a different perspective, because most likely you're going to be like in a whirlwind because everything happens so fast during your wedding. So to have a video to look back time and time again and to show your grandkids one day, it's just a really beautiful and amazing thing. Once you have your budget and once you've communicated with your partner, now we need to figure out what kind of style you want. So when it comes to photography, there's so many different kinds of styles. You could either do like a trendy kind of photographer who does a lot of trendy edits, like with the orange sepia tones. You could find one who likes to edit bright and white. You could find someone who likes to keep things more natural and colorful. I personally, on the photography side, lean more towards the natural, colorful, and timeless side. I just don't ever want my work to go out of style because I've seen work from like 10 years ago where the editing was done in a specific way. Let me just answer this real quick. Hey! That was my mom checking up on me. I was trying to record this video earlier but outside, and I dropped a chair on my foot and almost broke it. So it's swollen to the size of a golf ball right now, but I'm still gonna keep filming because this is what I love to do. Where were we? So we were talking about the style of photo. So like mine is natural and timeless. I want my photos to be able to really speak to you for years to come. So if you look at photos from like 10 years ago that were edited in the style that was popular 10 years ago, it looks kind of weird now. So definitely keep that in mind. Like, will you still love this style when you're 50 years old, when you're 80 years old? Or will it still be just as beautiful because it has that unique feel to it? That's totally up to you. There is no right or wrong way. Like, that's all 100% what you and your partner feel is right for you. There's other kinds of styles for video too. I personally try to go a documentary kind of route. So I like to pay attention to special connections between the family and friends, and I like to capture the grandparents, all the important people who are there, who you want to have on film, because one day, not everybody's going to be in your life forever, so it's important to have those like little memories to hold on to. But there are other types of video styles where you can have it be more like a movie, where it's just beautiful shots of you and your partner and random little things throughout the day, and that can still be just as good too. You just want to make sure that you pay attention to how the videographer edits their films. You'll want to pay attention to a few different pieces of their work. Every single wedding has its own flavor. Some are energetic, some are laid back, sweet, sentimental. They're all different, and the good way to figure out like how yours will be is to look at you and your partner and think, are we a fun, energetic couple? Are we gonna have a bunch of crazy music and dancing? Or are we gonna keep it more reserved, laid back? Are we more introverted? Just keep that in mind because your photos will kind of reflect that energy that you have. If you are a reserved, more shy and timid couple, a super energetic video probably isn't gonna be what your video ends up looking like because things didn't happen like that. And that is totally okay. You just have to remember that when you're booking your vendors. Once you've found the style that you like, now it's time to think about the platform for where you're going to put these photos and where you're going to show the videos. So for photos, are you going to get a big, huge canvas put on your wall? Are you going to want it to match how your house looks, your home decor? Or do you just want to do like a simple photo album and maybe post some online? Where are you going to show your video? Are you just going to post it and play it on your phone? Or are you going to have this fun gathering party with you, your partner, and your family and closest friends and just show it on a TV or a projector somewhere? You can make it a whole experience, and why not have an extra reason to celebrate your special day? You know, it's hard to find somebody you love. Like, there's a lot of crazy people out there. You don't know what you're getting into, so if you found your person, congratulations. It's hard to do. Now that you know the kind of style, where you're going to put your videos, the kind of feel for everything, and how your wedding will be, now let's start looking at some photographers and videographers. The best way to kind of play the playing field and see who all is out there is you can actually go on Facebook and join some groups. Like there's one here in Knoxville called I Know of a Place in Knoxville, and you can ask a question like, I'm looking for a wedding photographer within this budget. Can anybody suggest anyone who might be able to help me? And people will get hundreds of comments of people suggesting to you like who to choose. So if I were you, I would just go through, look at each person's work. Just know that they are going to put their absolute best work. So if there's someone who you think you might like, I would suggest asking if you could see a full wedding album that they have done. So that includes like photos from the reception, photos from the ceremony, the getting ready parts, everything that you are also going to want captured for your day, because during the reception time, it's usually really dark if your reception is indoors or at nighttime. So you need to find a photographer who's going to know how to light you properly, because photography at night and photography during the day are two completely different things, and you need to make sure that you're getting somebody who knows what they're doing. The same thing goes for video too. You want to see what this person's work looks like. So if you're getting a wedding highlight film, you're going to want to see their actual fully edited highlight film. You're not just going to want to see a reel that they have done where you see a bunch of random clips that they've shot throughout all the weddings they've shot, because that you're not really going to get a good taste of what it is their style is that you like about it. Like it's not going to be good enough to really determine, is this person the one whom my video belongs to? This is a bad joke. Another thing to pay attention to while you're looking at these vendors' work is, what does their style look like? Like not only their editing style, but how do they pose the couple? Do they get a lot of candid shots, or do they do a lot of pose shots? Is it really intimate, sentimental, and like you can feel the love and energy from it? Or is it more just superposed, smiling? I mean, there is no right or wrong way to do it. It just depends on what you like personally. So if you do want a more sentimental, candid type style, and you find a photographer who you like, but their shots aren't really that candid energy that you want, I would recommend trying to find a different photographer, because you're not seeing in their work what you want for your day. So you're setting up expectations for them that doesn't represent their current work. And then my last little tip would be to do a test shoot with this person that you're hiring. You could do an engagement shoot if you're looking for a wedding photographer. You can dress up, go somewhere beautiful, and then just have a good time and get to know your photographer before you even book them for your wedding. That way you kind of know in the back of your mind, like, is this somebody who I can see photographing this important day for me? Or is this somebody who we maybe not vibe with? I wish you all the best of luck in finding all of your wedding vendors, and I hope that your photographer and videographer make all of your visual, aesthetic wedding dreams come true. Make sure to leave a comment below if you want to hear anything else that I may have to offer, like if you have any questions about how to plan different things about your wedding, or different tips and advice that you'd like for me to give. I'd love to help you out. I'll see y'all next time. Bye!